Hello, everyone. Is everyone out there? Thank you for joining us for the Flamecraft question and answer Pledge Manager stream number 1. So I'll be answering some questions about our Pledge Manager, which we just launched to everyone. If you have not gotten your Pledge Manager yet, that is normal. The system takes a while to email out everyone. But you should be getting it within the next day or so. And if there's any problem getting your Pledge Manager email, you can always let us know on Kickstarter. That sometimes happens with, say, you use an old email or you use an Apple ID or something, you may not get it, but it should be going out to a large amount of people. And we'll say hello. We've got Brad Brooks in the audience from Cardboard Alchemy, and I see a lot of people chiming in with questions. So I'm going to get right to it, and we're going to start answering these questions. But first, hello, and thank you very much to everybody who's watching now or watching later and wants to just see what was asked and more information. Yo, thank you very much for chiming in. Appreciate it. So I'm going to start with one that I saw right away in the comments, which is, I have my Pledge Manager open. Which add-on game components are not included with the Deluxe? Now, that can be confusing. There are game components that are in the Deluxe, like coins, and you could buy more of them, but the only one that is not in the Deluxe right out of the gate is the Fancy Dragon. That is the only one you got to watch out for. The Fancy Dragon is sold separately or won separately if you did our puzzles, but that is a separate item. But we listed it among the game components because it is, in fact, part of the game. It is an extra piece. You don't need it. It's the pink dragon, the pink color, the pink dragon meeple, the pink heart. So that is the 7th dragon color. And there's another question related to that, which someone will often ask, does the mini come with the dragon meeple and the heart? And it does. And then even further, the question comes up about whether or not it has a player aid that is also pink, and that is included in the box. So you're actually covered with that automatically. And then by adding the Fancy Dragon, you will give yourself one more dragon type to play around town. Let's see. We've got a question. Let's see what the next question is, if we've got any. Feel free to ask anything you want. I'm also be going over questions I've gotten already today. Brad and I have gotten several, so we'll go over those. The next one. Oh, we've got a question about. Now, this is another one. This is really key, and I want to make sure I mention this right up front because this is going to be a big one. We added the pin to everyone's pledge, the Fancy Dragon pin. Even if you're a $1 backer, we also added the free mini if you did the puzzles, and we also added the coasters if you qualified for those. We added those all in, and we thought that was going to work out great. And then in Backer Kit, if you switch levels, like if you go to actually switch to a game tier to get the game, you lose all the things we did. All that hard work goes away, but that's okay. We have a way of every week we're going to search for everyone who got that stuff dropped out, and we're going to add it back in. So there really isn't any thing that you need to do, but it will not look obvious. So if you go in and you do not see that you have a free Fancy pin in your cart and you have switched to a game tier, that is why. We will fix that. Another question that comes up with that, though, is just finding the free dragon, the Fancy pin in and of itself. The way that Backer Kit lists that, I wish I had a screen for this, is in the add-on section. You'll see your game pledge, and you'll see under that some bullet points items in sort of gray. They're smaller font, and anything free or added complimentary will be listed there. So if you were to go through the survey as a $1 backer, and you would see that free stuff, but at the minute you switch levels, you would then lose that free stuff, but we'll add that back. But if you are a shopkeeper or flamekeeper, you shouldn't see anything drop out, and you should see those listed right underneath your game pledge. I've got another question about Mission Catastrophe, which is from Garrett. Is there an estimated ship date for Mission Catastrophe? And that one, that campaign is a little bit late, but it is coming we expect it to be in Q1 of 2022. So that copy of Mission Catastrophe in the Pledge Manager is basically, it's already being made, and we'll just make sure you get on the same boat and deliver with all the other backers of Mission Catastrophe. So thanks for everyone who's willing to jump in and back our first game from Cardboard Alchemy, Mission Catastrophe. It'll deliver first. You'll get to try it and have a blast in space with your friends before getting to go to Dragontown. Let's see. Will asks, hey, Will, I'm going to get a Japanese copy. Do I need to buy another Fancy Dragon mini for that one? Or is it one free per backer that did the puzzles? And actually, that's a good question. If you did a puzzle and qualify for a free mini, that is extended to every copy that you get. So if you got an English copy, a German, and two English copies and one Japanese copy, that free mini would go all the way. If you did not do the puzzles, you would need to buy the Fancy Dragon add-on for all three of those. So that's another reason to jump in on our puzzles next time. If anybody missed them, we will do those every single campaign, I think. Let's see what else we have here. How do I know if the Fancy Dragon will be included with my pledge? We went through all the puzzles and checked everybody who submitted. We had 7 different puzzles, and there were different answers for each one. We did all of that. We imported all those emails, and we put those Fancy Dragons in on everyone's pledge who gets one. Now, like I said, the only reason why that should not be there, there's actually 2. The first one is you're a $1 backer and you upgraded, so you switched levels and that dropped out. We will put it back. We will check that every week and we'll put it back. The other way is that if you used a different email to solve a puzzle than you used to back the game, and if that happened to you and you think, I solved the puzzle, I know I did, what you could do is you could email us and send us both the email that you submitted the puzzle into and the email that you're using for Kickstarter, and we'll rectify that. You have to send us both emails so we could check the lists and see that you did in fact do the puzzle. And our email, I'll mention it a couple times and I'll post it in this stream, is hello@cardboardalchemy.com. So just email us if you have a missing Fancy Dragon. So we got another question about, didn't see the coasters in my cart and the additional pins. I thought that I got them all. Alex, if my other question didn't answer that, if you upgraded, that's why they dropped out. But you mentioned additional pins, plural, and I want to clarify that if everyone got a free Fancy Dragon added to their cart, and that means that if you're ordering 6 copies, you're still going to see 1 Fancy Dragon pin. We are going to solve that at the end. So it will not reflect, it will not change up and down as you add copies. It will show that you have a free Fancy Dragon. And then if you add more copies, we will make sure to do that with each copy. So another good question. The free bookmarks are not listed under the free things in the Pledge Manager. But actually, there is a question that says, it's up front and it says, here's a picture. It says all this free stuff is coming and it's not going to be listed. It's just included. So you're not going to see a line item for bookmarks or stickers or art prints or promo cards or alternate starters. You're not going to see an item for those things. Those are just going to be included with every game. So if you have a game, you have that stuff. So that means you have a set of bookmarks, you have a set of stickers, you have art prints, you have promo cards, you have companion dragons, you have all the things. That's all in that one picture that says you do get that per game. Let's see. We got a question from Ronnie. Would the minis be good as a first-time painting minis project? A total newbie. Wasn't sure if this would be a good place to start. That's a good question. I actually, one of the reasons why we make the minis in color is so that you can jump and play the game right away without having to paint. It's kind of exciting to have like a red dragon and a green one and a blue. You don't have to paint. That being said, it's only one solid color, so I would think this would be a very forgiving set to try and paint, right? The meat dragon's already red. You could completely paint over that. You could just add accents to that. I think it sounds fun, actually. I will definitely try and paint a set myself. Let's see. Okay, why was the coaster pair not added that way, like the mini? Now, someone is talking about how if you look at your free items, sometimes the free items will be in gray, like I said, bullet point lists underneath your game, and the coasters will sometimes appear as if they are something you can remove. That is because BackerKit did it that way for those items. BackerKit did it differently, and I don't know why they did that. So if you see coasters when you already log in, those are the free coaster pair. It's already been included. Again, unless you upgrade, then of course that gets wiped out. How many regular coins come in the original version? Just wondering if 25 metal coins are enough. Now, this is a good question because when you say original version, I assume you're meaning standard. Now, keep in mind, you do not get the cardboard coins with the deluxe. You get the metal coins. So that means that each backer will get, each game will come with 24 coins. There are 24 cardboard coins, and there are 24 coins in the deluxe plus one. There is that extra commemorative coin. If you're getting deluxe, there's an extra metal coin. Now, as far as whether or not 25 or 24 coins is enough in the game, we've been testing it. And if everyone's playing kind of normal, meaning that you get coins, you spend coins, you get more coins, you spend more coins, I think 24 will likely cover most games. There is a chance that if you're playing and someone's like, well, I'm just going to hoard coins and I'm never going to spend them. Well, if you run out of coins, then you can use a suitable replacement. Literally anything will do. You can take coins from another game. You can take your regular currency. I mean, in our game, a coin equals 1 point at the end, so it's very easy to use a substitute. But we do think that the coin count will cover a lot of circumstances. There are only so many coins in the game, with the exception of a couple shops that might, cause a lot of coins to come out. Let's see. Someone says, just added my Mission Catastrophe. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Ellie says, and this is a good note, by the way, if anyone wants to test Mission Catastrophe by playing online, our Discord at Cardboard Alchemy has, the Tabletopia version of Mission Catastrophe has been released to backers for a while now, and we have a link in our Discord, and so anyone can try it. You can play and test it out, and we also on our Discord have we have games every once in a while, but particularly on Thursdays, there's a bunch of people who like to play on Thursday game day and host games. So if you want to learn Mission Catastrophe, you can come on and check it out, play it, launch it yourself, or play with a group and learn it that way. Mission Catastrophe has, the main mode is competitive, but you can also play cooperative or team games. So it's a lot of fun. Someone's asking about the puzzles. The puzzles were at the beginning of our campaign as a pre-launch activity. We sort of wanted to build up, so we gave everyone a chance to answer these puzzles. If you got any puzzle right, you got to get a free Fancy Dragon Mini. But of course, we didn't want anyone left out. So if you missed those, you can still get that Fancy Dragon Mini and add that to your pledge. So it was a fun activity, though. And people on our Discord will point out that there's a channel where you could check your answer, and that channel still exists. And their puzzles were posted up there by one of our backers, just for everyone who wants to just play for fun. You can answer those puzzles if you want. Let's see. Are you able to show the pledge manager and what it looks like so we know what to do? I don't have that access right now. Maybe I'll consider that for one of my later streams if you're still having confusion and you need to know what the screens look like. It is a fairly simple interface that clicks you through, like you answer a question, then you click through and you answer another question, you click through. And after you're done answering questions, you get to a add-on page, which looks like a bunch of visual boxes that you could add something to your cart. Once you've proceeded from there, it'll give you a total on that page saying what you owe, if you've got a credit, if you've got still money due, and then you go from there into a, confirm your address and then finalize the pledge. But it's a fairly simple web interface. But if I can get some screenshots and people are still confused, I can do that. Ellie points out, by the way, when you're painting your figures, if you paint over them with primers, paint them with primers first, you can do whatever you want, any color you want. Let's see. Is it easy to add extra paid for fancy pins and bookmarks and the like, despite having the free ones already? Yes. So you have, for example, I'll give you two examples. The bookmarks, which I said earlier are already included. They will just be with every game, but there is a bookmark add-on little box that you can click and say, add another one. So those bookmarks will show up as a line item. So you know already with the game you have bookmarks included. And if you want to add more, you just add as many as you want. With the pins, it's sort of the same thing, except you will see you'll see that you have a pin underneath your game. And then you can also click and add more fancy pins if you want more fancy pins. Brad Brooks, I need 100 Bread Dragon plushies. I know the feeling. Can I order that many? Could I get more? I should get more, right? Brad, this is an excellent question. Don't forget, you should add a meat dragon for every bread dragon. That's a funny one. Someone says, do you have enough room for them? I think Brad will make room for all these minis. Let's see. Thank you for people jumping in. Ellie says you can still do the puzzles. That's right. Does free shipping work for the first plushie or the first bread or meat? How does it work? So actually what we did is we decided to add, so it's free shipping for the first bread dragon plushie and free shipping for the first meat. So you can basically get that on both and for the book. So there is in the Pledge Manager, you'll see 2 items. You'll see 2 bread dragons, 2 meat dragons, and 2 books. And one of them is marked with free shipping. The other one is marked with regular shipping. And that is because you can only add one of the one with free shipping. And then after that, if you were getting 5 books, you would add the other 4 via the other button. What really threw me on the manager is it was removing my shipping and VAT from my extra bonus case funds before adding my add-ons. Yeah, Pledge Manager can be a little tricky with the whole figure out exactly what's happening. Now, the good news is, and I didn't answer this question, but it is open until November 24th. So if you don't pick PayPal, we are not charging you anything. You can actually take your time. You can add items or subtract items or figure out exactly what you want to get. It will take the Kickstarter money that you pledged and put that in there as a credit. If you've overspent on Kickstarter, you'll have a little bit left to spend. And you can drag items, you can click on items and take them back out and then see what you want to end up with. So take your time to get that right. Ask us questions. We're here. Let's see. How long should we give it if we haven't received our backer kits? Well, Brad might be able to answer that question because he's sending them out right now as we're doing this. But I think it's a delay on sending out emails, but I don't think it should be past tomorrow. So if you have not received your survey within the next day or so, do say something about that. You'll see an email. Someone was asking how they'll know. Let's see. Can you explain the pin pricing? I can't explain the pin pricing. Now, one of the things we were trying to figure out when we were making pins, or where are we going to make them? What size were we going to make them? Where are we going to make them with? What kind of clutch on the back? Where are we going to make them hard or soft enamel? And these are things that pin collectors really care about. And what I heard from feedback is that if you don't make hard enamel pins, I'm going to be very mad. So we decided to make hard enamel pins because those are the best. And they're also like gold plated. They're awesome. They're 2 inches, almost 2 inches. So not surprisingly, these are expensive pins. But that being said, we're offering, I think, was a very competitive price for pins, because we know that if you went to a show like PAX and you tried to buy a pin of this size with hard enamel and all that stuff, and glitter is on the fancy one, they would easily be $10 to $20 or more. So we got the prices back and we chopped the prices as much as possible, because this is our Kickstarter backers that we're talking about. We're not trying to like make tons on pins. We're just trying to get you the best price on the best pins. So what we did is we kind of calculated the pins at about $10 each, or $15 for the fancy dragon, and then we chopped that price down more just for this Pledge Manager window, so that you can grab them for the best price possible. And as far as everyone knows, some people are saying, why didn't you put the artisan dragons separate? It's very expensive to get the pin pricing, and if you don't get the right quantity ordered, it's way worse. So for example, if 10 people ordered the plant dragon pin, but like 900 ordered the meat dragon pin, we would be in big trouble. The plant dragon pin would cost a lot of money to order 10. So we packaged it all up in a set. That is the only way to ensure that we're going to get the quantity that we need. We were originally going to make that set something that you had to unlock, meaning that if we didn't get the minimum order, we weren't going to order it because, of course, again, it is very important that we order enough. But based on our feedback with Kickstarter, we just have a lot of people who have said they want to get it. So we're going to take a chance that enough people will order those pins to make this work out. Otherwise, we'll stick to the price that we offered, even if we have to eat money on pins. But I think they're adorable. And if Brad has to order all the sets, that's fine. Let's go back to questions. Let's see, pin pricing was covered. Some people, I just covered that if you want a few pins and not the whole set, that's not possible. I'm so sorry about that. You got to go all in on pins. Now, you will get a pin. Keep in mind that if you think the pins are adorable and you're like, yep, I can't pull the trigger on that, you get a fancy dragon pin, which I think is really neat. Everyone's going to have this nice commemorative pin that's sort of, you were part of this Kickstarter, and we're super excited to offer that pin for free. That's a huge value for free for every backer, and you can wear that to shows and show that you were part of Flamecraft. So I think that's really cool. Does the pink dragon fit in the box of the deluxe version? Well, that would hardly be a deluxe box if it didn't, but it's a great question. Yes, 100%. There will be a home for the pink fancy dragon in the box. Also, it's worth noting here that the standard edition box and the deluxe edition box have turned out to be the same size. And what's cool about that is that the standard box, although it won't have, the deluxe things in it, can fit a lot of things, including if you buy a mini set, like if you buy the artisan minis, because that's all you want. Let's say you wanted standard, but you just wanted the dragons. You could buy those and put those in your box, and it'll also hold the fancy dragon. So you can hold the fancy dragon in either box, but in the game trays specifically, there'll be a spot for the fancy dragon if you get it. Someone says that the pins they get are soft enamel because damage rate is lower. I don't know enough about that. I know that I have ordered soft enamel before and they turned out great. Sandara has ordered a lot of hard enamel and she said they turned out great and that they are fantastic. So we're going with the hard enamel. What else do we have here? When are you expecting this game to be delivered? It says July 2022 on the pledge. Now, that is something we are really trying to work towards. I hope everyone knows that with a campaign this big, with Kickstarter as it is, delays happen and freight is out of our control. The other thing that's out of our control is we're translating with 16 or more different languages. It was 15. It was mentioned as 15, but I know we've got 2 for Chinese, and we might have more. And with that many languages, there is a possibility that one of the partners could go a little bit slower, or a boat could take a while, or it could even be my fault that it's slow. But the thing is, we are going to go full on at July 2022. Now, if there's any delays that happen as we start production, we are going to keep everybody up to date so that if it slips, how much it's going to slip. But I am fiercely dedicated to trying to pull this date off. And if it's a delay that's out of our control, that's probably the only reason, is we're going to push to get this happen. I want to be one of the first Kickstarters that delivers on time. Now, that's funny that I say that, but there's a lot of, if you've backed Kickstarters before, Kickstarters don't tend to deliver on time. And it's not anyone's fault. Usually it just takes time. You're making a product on the fly. You're getting a lot of feedback. You're going back and forth with backers and different vendors, and all sorts of things are happening. And it just, even I'll say the reason why Mission Catastrophe was a little late is because the whole game trays in practice didn't work, and we had to redesign it, and it just takes time. And all of a sudden, you're not in the queue with the manufacturer at the same place you were. And there's a lot of things that happen, but we are optimistic. The Flamecraft magic will make this happen as fast as possible. So it says, I highly doubt you'll get just 10 orders for one pin. That is fair, but we can't risk. What if Iron Dragon's not popular? How big is the box? Asked Jake. The box is, if you have seen Ticket to Ride, it's a sort of standard square European box size, which is basically like, I don't know who's in what country asking here, but it's like 11 and a half inches by 11 and a half inches square by like 2 or 3 inches thick. It is a pretty standard size box. And the good news about that is that most companies are making boxes that size. I mean, Kickstarters vary, but that means it'll stack really well on your shelves with your other boxes. It's a pretty standard size. Now that is it's a big meaty box too. So it's going to be great. It's going to look fantastic on your shelf. Fits in Calyx shelves beautifully. Ellie asked, what are the coasters made of? The coasters are made of a pulp board. It's a material that is, if you've seen those coasters that are, I mean, they soak up drinks really well, right? It's like I don't know if it's recycled material, but it's, it's a cardboard-like material it's called pulp board. You can buy it in different thicknesses. We've gone for like the thickest we can find out there. So it is it's a 4-inch coaster. It will soak up that water into the pulp board. And I know a lot of people are freaking out right now. Oh my God, that'll soak up onto the dragons. But it actually bounces back. We've been using these coasters since our first campaign. So we know a lot about these and how they work, and they last. They are great. They stay colorful. They soak up the drink sweat perfectly. They're awesome. Sandara just happened to make the cutest ones. So I get that you might not want to, put a drink on them, but that is the point of a coaster. Let's see. The currency of the add-on prices. Now, this is a good question because I don't know if BackerKit shows another currency. I don't think it does. I think it's probably showing in dollars, USD. I don't think it knows to track, what country you're in. So they are not cork coasters. That's how we're able to maintain that price there. But they're awesome. They do the job. Thank you. Brad's jumped in there. They're used in pubs. Yeah, they are really like, if you've been to a pub and seen a coaster in a pub, this is what they're like. They're awesome. They work really well. Okay, here's a question that I find Slushosaurus. Thank you. Given the size of the box and all the deluxe components and the trays, whose soul did you sell on these brights? I'm guessing Brad or Manny's to be able to fit the neoprene mat in there too. Now this is actually have the size of a mat here. This is the mat. It's going to be harder to show with the background. But basically this was what drove the box size in the first place, right? It is because from the campaign, it's a 10 inches by 42 inches. That 10 inches is what, of course, drove us to make a box that's at least 10 inches. And we already talked with Game Trays about fitting it right next to the other components. I'm not positive it will have like a little dip well or how it will register, but it'll be beautiful right next to the side of everything. And I've done a test on these mats for the last couple of weeks, and they stay with that shape. They don't really expand. They don't. It's very easy to roll them and keep them exactly right there. So the good news is we did not have to sell Brad or Manny's soul to make this happen. Although Brad chimes in, we've licensed TARDIS technology. Nice. Someone's saying, I think BackerKit always shows in the Kickstarter currency, and that would be US dollars. Can you show us more photos of the game board and mat? That's another one that I'll have to get ready. I don't have that here, but you know what I'll do is I'll put that in an update when we have more. So the mats have been already drawn. This is the early design from Sandara. It's not the final design. So when we have the final ready and we've done more art, I'll be happy to show more about the mats. Now that doesn't affect any pledges because it's coming in every box. You're going to get an awesome town in every single game. Let me see if I have any other questions on my list. Let's see. I've answered why there's 2 bread plush, meat plush, and art books. That's because the first one is free shipping. Make sure you click the right one. It's listed on there. You want to pick the weird one. The neoprene mat is acting weird with the background. Sorry about that, because I do have this as a green screen, and so therefore it doesn't appear right. I'll have it on the next stream. I'll have it something I can click to and show the map. So the next question is, I don't know if I answered this, but just to be sure everyone knows, the Pledge Manager is open from now until November 24th. If you're going with PayPal, you can check out, get charged, get done, get out of there. You can always add more stuff and pay again in PayPal. If you are not using PayPal, we don't charge cards until November 24th, in which case we will say, all right, close, we're out. Not exactly. They'll probably be, if you have pledged and you don't finish by November 24th, we're not going to be crazy sticklers like that. It may get an extension, but we are not guaranteeing that all the items will be unlimited quantity past November 24th. So you want to get in there now, help us figure out the exact amount to make, because it really does help. If we can get that numbers, we can like order the mats soon. We can start the minis soon. So the faster you can answer the survey, the better for us to get to that July 22nd deadline and get this game done. That is why some people asked, why aren't you going to just extend it forever? Like, just let me order, all the way till whatever. But we're not going to, we want to know how many plushies are we making. Then we're going to order. We're not going to wait. We're going to make stuff. We're going to make stuff soon. Let's see. Will you show an example of how everything fits in the box? Now, that is a good question. We are working on a game trays render, which will show you how the tray looks. That'll probably be a couple weeks before we have that. But when I have that, I will post that in an update and show you how it's all going to sit and fit in the box. We're probably not going to have that image for the standard game, because the standard game is going to be, it doesn't have a tray. It has it. We're going to put a cardboard tray so that the pieces we're not savages. It's not going to be loose, but it isn't going to have organization. That's sort of the thing about the standard, is it's not, you get to save money without all that tray bling. So, but we will show a picture of how the Game Trays tray starts to shape up. Now, Game Trays is, I think they mentioned they've got 7 or 8 live campaigns right now of games that have Game Trays. So they're very busy, but I am on their list. We're on their list of like, please work on this tray soon, and they will. Do you have an actual number how many mat samples are kicking around the house? No. I've had to save every one, and I'm like, okay, which one is this one? There's so many cloth samples everywhere, and neoprene. They're sending more neoprene. I'm like, I don't need any more, but we're still doing color tests, so there's more. But yes, we'll have like, I'll do the walls in neoprene mats someday. The minis, how tall are they? We got a question about the minis. They are roughly 35 millimeter to 42, I think, is the millimeters on the Fancy Dragon. And for anyone who's used minis before, the standard size that you'll see on some Kickstarters is like 15 to 28. Like, it was considered a big deal if you got a 28 millimeter mini. And I always thought those things were so puny. So we're not doing that. We're doing 35 as the base level. And we've let them go a little bit higher if they've got, like, the Fancy Dragon has the nice hair. So, the thing, if anyone's backed Dwellings of Eldervale, the Minotaur was a smaller mini, and there was a 35 millimeter. So that was the monsters in Dwellings were like 50 or 60 or 70. So they were insane. But we were doing some beefy dragons at 35 millimeter. So you want more for your shelves too. I'm going to put them all over. Yeah, I'm going to get some more minis. Those are so cool. All right. Shipping costs staying the same? Question mark. Not exactly. So we did estimates. So for example, if we said, oh, we've done an estimate and we've contacted that fulfillment company and they said, actually, the shipping price is higher. We a lot of times we ate that extra, and then sometimes we said, yeah, it's so much extra, we have to add $1. So we didn't add more than $1 to any. I don't think we added more than $1 to any pledge on the estimates that were on the Kickstarter page, which is great news. I think that's, considering the shipping situation out there right now, most of the time when you see the shipping that we've posted, we're eating money, and we only added $1 when we're eating so much that we're like, yeah, that's really bad. So we did have to change it a little bit, but we kept it so close. So I think that's good. That's really great. Yeah, someone says, Slushosaur says, I'm used to 28 millimeter heroic scale with Warhammer, and these are bigger than that, which is awesome. They got to be chunky because you're moving around town, and we did this test where the shops are so big. The shops are jumbo size cards, and that is because, and I told Manny, I said we should go smaller because it's going to be so big. But Manny's like, no, I want to look at the art, so big. So now you've got these shops that are jumbo card on the table, super impressive, and then the minis are going to feel really chunky going around the table too. Jake is asking, when do we charge for shipping? Now that is in the pledge manager. So for example, if you pledged $79 for a deluxe on Kickstarter, then when you get to the pledge manager, it looks at your country and says, okay, here's the amount that you owe. If you're in a country that has VAT, it'll add VAT right there, and it'll say, here's your final total. And as you add things to your cart, that'll increase, and you'll see how it adds before you click onto the next screen. And if you pledge more than your pledge level, you'll see a credit when you come in. But shipping is charged during the pledge manager. Now, again, we do not charge cards until November 24th, unless you pay PayPal, in which case you just get out right now and pay. Let's see. Ellie says, I'm so excited to do thematic photo shoots with my extra figurines. That's awesome. We cannot wait to see that. This is one of the parts that's so exciting when a game gets delivered and people are just taking pictures. That's the other reason to have these components be, like little mini pieces of toast and steak and like big cards and an awesome mat. This looks gorgeous on the table. That's going to be so much fun to see people's pictures. All right. What else do we have? There's other questions that I wanted to answer. Some people are concerned about if items are limited in the pledge manager. There is not a limit to anything that is Flamecraft related. That is because we are just ordering it now. So if you put in an order for a bread dragon, we add 1 to the order of bread dragons. There's no limit to Flamecraft stuff. The only things that are limited are Mission Catastrophe, because we've already ordered those copies. They're getting made. And coasters from past campaigns are limited to the quantities that we have left. So those are the only 2 things that are limited, are non-Flamecraft items. But everything Flamecraft, the order is determined by how much people want to do right here and right now. We're not going to limit anything. But then once the order is placed, once we decide at the end of November, then we are going to say, sorry, we are out of plushes because we're only ordering the right amount. So yes, that is why you want to get your survey in during this window of time when you can get anything you'd like in the Flamecraft universe. How many Mission Catastrophes are left? Well, I don't know. There was a couple hundred available. That's all we have available. Now, we figured that because Mission Catastrophe is its own price and its own shipping, we're not going to see those run out. But if they do run out, if you're thinking about Mission Catastrophe, you should put it in your cart. I suppose I should say, oh, Brad's already got an answer. 189 are left. 189 Mission Catastrophes. I don't know if those will all go, but based on the hype, people have been excited about Mission Catastrophe. It's a fantastic game. I know I'm biased, but I'm telling you right now, it is awesome. You can try it in our Discord, as we mentioned, and find out that it's awesome. But there are only that many to order. Now, for anyone who's like freaked out later and says, I missed Mission Catastrophe, we are actually partnering with Lucky Duck Games to make the base edition of Mission Catastrophe. I don't know how many countries will take that deal. I don't know if it'll be in every, it might be in the United States and Spain only. I mean, I don't know exactly how that's going to work. So if you want Mission Catastrophe, now this is the version that's in the backer kit is the deluxe. It's got the expansion in it. It is the full Kickstarter thing. We did 42 stretch goals, I think, on that campaign. We unlocked so many extra modules. And so that is the full thing. It's never going to be like that again. Yeah, this is it. This is the one time. Mission Catastrophe was around the same cost as the deluxe Flamecraft. I believe it was $78. Now, that was in the original Mission Catastrophe. That game actually has an MSRP of $90 if it was ever sold in stores, but it won't be sold in stores. So we are keeping it at the $78. We are doing that because you guys are awesome. Our backers deserve to get Mission Catastrophe. It was not enough people saw Mission Catastrophe, and I think that a lot of people are gonna wish they had it. So If you get a chance, you have the money, it is fantastic. If you want to try it first, come and play it with us on the Discord. Someone says, to confirm, with Mission Catastrophe, will you get all the stretch goals? You get everything. We did all these extra modules, all these extra roles. We upgraded the cards. We did just everything. We put so many different pieces in there. So you get all of it. So let's see. Someone says, to push the game with 7 players with all the dragon miniatures, has anyone tested this? We have tested 5-player because that's what we know works. We have not played a 6 and a 7-player because we know what will happen. You will, first of all, when you're taking your first turns, there are 6 shops in town. And if you go to a shop with another player, you have to pay a resource. So if you were talking about a 6-player game, the 6th player would have 1 shop. I mean, basically, when there's 5 players, you have 1 shop to choose from. When there's 6 players, everyone's already gone. Everyone's gone everywhere. 7 players would be even worse. So we know those things are going to happen. The other thing about it is the resources are only planned for 5 players. So you might run out of bread. You might run out of coins faster for sure. So and then the last part, I will say that if you play 7 players, the turns will be long, right? You'll be waiting. Oh my goodness, 6 people have to go before I go. It's not bad in 5. In 7, it'll be a little bit rougher. And then the last part is that town only has so many slots. Now, we did add a lot of shops. So what I think if you were to try and break the game like that, you would probably have to make some custom rules. You'd have to say like, well, we're going to add extra shops beyond the mat, and we're going to make our turns fast, and we're going to agree that if we run out of toast, this is what we're going to do. So yeah, I'm sure people will try it. I'm excited for people to try it, but I'm not going to play with 7 players. The end game will come, as Ellie says, the end game will come very fast because, of course, there's only 18 enchantments, but you could take the other deck. Someone will come up with a variant and say, listen, I tried it and I love it. It's the only way I want to play, and kudos to that person. In fact, post that on BGG so you can give other people the fun of that idea, and post it on our Discord and tell us how awesome it is. Brad chimes in, 7 players requires an extra table add-on. Let's quickly add that to the backer kit. You have to buy another table if you want to play 7 players, and we will give you the best price on that table. Good. The Celestial who was asking about the 7th player did buy extra coins, tokens, and trays. That will probably help. Now, I should mention that if you buy extra tokens, like the meat and the bread, those won't fit in your box because those fit exactly in 2 game trays, Y trays, and more game trays, Y trays don't fit in your box. However, it's not that big of a deal. You could keep them nearby. You could buy extra toast. I mean, I think it's really cute to buy like extra potions and toast and anvils and crystals, but just keep in mind, extra sets do not fit in the game box. It's a lot to get the mat in there. Let's see what else we have. Extra coins will fit in the game box, and the reason for that is because we are putting a dragon-made cloth bag, and it's going to be big enough to hold several sets of coins. Now, technically, when you order more coins, you will get more bags. I don't know what you're going to do with those, but you can take all the coins and put them probably in one bag, which will fit in the deluxe box just fine. Brad's like, or buy another game. That's true. You can buy another game and put more toast in there, but that game will also come with toast. I don't know. The other thing about Y trays, I want to mention a shout out for Game Trays right now. So if no one knows this, but Game Trays makes all these inserts in bunches of games that you see on Kickstarter. And then they've also come up with this line of trays called X trays, which are these very versatile trays that you can use with any game that doesn't have trays. So for example, if you own Terraforming Mars and you've got all these little bits and pieces, you can buy X trays and keep your game organized while you're playing. So the X trays are like really versatile, and he made them in the Game Trays owner made them in a bunch of colors. And he's planned on doing Y trays for a while, which is like double the size of an X tray. It is basically, there's going to be multiple designs in the future for Y trays. They're going to hold cards. They can hold mini cards. They can hold poker cards. They can hold your minis. Actually, we're doing a test to see whether or not I can hold all the minis as well. But We are the first campaign to do Y trays officially, even before Game Trays has launched their Y trays. So if you buy the extra Y trays, now the only design available is white and with 6 compartments, because that's what our game needs. But if you buy that, you could actually use that with other X trays that you buy via Game Trays or BGG, and you can use that with any other game that has a bunch of bits. So they're useful. If you get the extra Y trays, they will not fit in Flamecraft. What the extra Y trays are for is just early access to buy more Game Trays products before it's on the market. You can use it for all your other games. Do I have coin examples? Ooh, not yet. So the best coin example I could give you is probably, well, I'll show a coin on a Kickstarter update when we get the first sample. But we made coins. I made coins for Dwellings of Eldervale, which was a small but meaty coin. These are 25 millimeter coins, and they're 3 millimeters thick. And our manufacturing plant said, "Are you sure you want to do 3 millimeters? You could do 2." And I'm like, no, we want the 3 millimeter thick coins. They're going to be awesome. I will put a sample up on an update that shows you kind of the same quality. When we get our first samples, it's going to be clear. I don't know if that'll come in time for the Pledge Manager, but we're going to go with the nicest possible coins we can possibly make, and in an awesome bag. I will tell you that right now the bag is going to have the design printed on it, but we are trying to find out what the prices are of like an embroidered thing. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that'll happen, but basically we're going to make the nicest possible bag of coins you could get when we get down to the details. Now, if it turns out that it's just a simple cloth bag with a printed image, we'll at least make the coins the most awesome thing ever. Let's see. 4 and 3 player games at once. I guess you could buy the stuff and then play a 4 and a 3 and then use different parts of town. I mean, you need another mat for that, but maybe you play one side that's off in the boondocks. How will issues be resolved after delivery? That's a great question. What will happen is we are going to go through different fulfillment centers. So if you're in the UK or if you're in the EU, you're out of the same fulfillment center. That fulfillment center will get extra games if there is a busted box. That's the first line of defense. It'll be the fulfillment center that will handle those and say, well, yeah, I'll send, get you a new one. If it goes beyond that, if it's like inside the box, you're missing not a fancy dragon, because fancy dragons are not automatically in the box. But if you're missing a token, you're missing all, you didn't get any bread, then you will email us at our email. Oh, we don't know if we're going to keep it hello@Cardboard Alchemy for that period of time. We might make a customer service specific email, but we will update people with that email if we change it. But you'll email us and say, hey, listen, I'm missing this. We might put a form up on our website that might be easier as well. But by the time we get there, we'll have a system in place for anything missing. Hey, I didn't, these things happen. You're also welcome to send us an email if it's just awesome and you want to tell us that. But these things happen where it's like, yep, I don't have such and such, or, the minis are really resilient and they're going to be in their own little section of the tray, but every once in a while there's breakage and so forth. And then all that stuff will take care of it. Will they have a sound bite of the coins? I don't know. I don't understand that one. Let's see. If I ordered deluxe, am I missing any other game content? I know we covered that, but I just want to say it again. If you are getting the deluxe, you have everything for the game. You don't have a fancy dragon in there, which is pink, which also includes the dragon meeple, which is pink, and the heart, which is pink. Now that is the 7th color. You do not have that in your deluxe, but you can buy that. That's the only game piece that's not in the deluxe. If you want to get the, of course, there's always the other stuff that's not game related, the book, the art book, the bookmarks. You can get an extra set. You can get more stickers. You can get plush, of course, all these things. But the only game piece not in the deluxe is the fancy dragon. Let's see. Someone asked earlier, they want to get a set of coasters and wondered if there was a bundle. There is. When you click on the coasters add-on, you'll notice that it's priced 2 to 8, and there's a pull down. You can actually select 1 set of coasters, 3 sets of coasters, or 6. If you are getting several sets of dragon coasters, you should go for the deal. Put as many as you can in there. And if you, the other question about that is someone was asking like which coasters come in there. Well, there are 2 dragon coasters, and every time you pick coasters, you get both. So it always comes as a pair. So it's easy to to understand. If you get coasters and you pick 6, you're actually getting 6 pairs of coasters. You're always getting both dragon coasters in your pledge. I did turn the phone to silent, by the way. Someone is pointing that out. My computer likes to ring anyway. My phone's on silent, but my computer is not. So yeah, I got to work on that someday. What else do we have? So someone is asking about the free shipping again, and they noticed in the pledge manager the bread. They want to get the bread and the meat. One is listed as coming with free shipping, and the one is listed without. If you check again, you will notice that there are 2 add-on items for the bread plush. One that says free shipping, one that says not. There are 2 for the meat. One that says free shipping, one that says not. If you want to get both with free shipping, you need to add the free shipping bread and add the free shipping meat. There are both in there. So you just look for those and add your first bread dragon and first meat dragon are free shipping. How do we get the Flamecraft trivia rewards? I'm assuming you mean the puzzles, and the puzzles are over, which was if you did the puzzles before the campaign launched, you could get a fancy dragon for free by solving any of the puzzles. That said, you could still get the fancy dragon. We don't want to exclude anyone from being able to get all the dragons, so you could still add that to your cart. How sunlight resistance is the box and the figures. Now, this is standard for any game. We are going through the same manufacturing process as a lot of games. We're using a company that's made some of the most popular games out there. It's the same as any other board game. If you leave it in the sun, you will find out that does change the color after some time. The figures, I don't actually know on the figures that the plastic may be more resilient, but yep. Looking at the question about the trivia rewards, they're already in your cart. Now, what that means is if you did the puzzles and you got a correct answer, we have already put the mini in your cart. That should be listed right underneath your game pledge in gray. It's a little hard to see, but it's listed there. If you switch tiers, if you upgrade, then it will disappear, which we've noted in the beginning. We'll fix that. So every week we're going to basically go through and add them back to anyone who's missing them. Yep, someone's asking, what is the component that's not in the deluxe? The component that's not in the deluxe is the fancy dragon. Everything else. So if you see extra coins and extra toast and extra wide trays, that is all on top of everything in the deluxe. The only thing not in the deluxe by default is the fancy dragon. Can you buy an extra neoprene mat? I did not think anyone was going to ask that question. We do not currently have plans for that because the factory is going to be making so many mats. But if that changes and we decide to add that, I will let everyone know that that's an option. But we did not think that anyone would want another whole 42-inch town. And Michael clarifies that my earlier comment about gameplay items missing out of deluxe is only the fancy dragon. So the deluxe does not include an art book. The deluxe does not include a plush. The deluxe includes everything game related. The only game piece that is not in the deluxe is the fancy dragon. When is the last day to edit our backer kit? Well, I want to make sure I clarify the difference between addresses and orders, because some people wonder, can I change my address? Yes, you can change your address like from now till the date, well, not the day we ship, but like the month we ship. You can change your address all the time, like over and over and over. You can like move 7 times and keep changing your address. But as far as locking your order, we are asking everyone to finish by November 24th. So you got a couple weeks. And if everyone can do that, it'll make it so that we get the most accurate numbers on all of our orders. Now, When we close on November 24th, we are not guaranteeing how much longer we will maybe offer an extension. We may, because obviously if you spent money on Kickstarter and you didn't get it done, we are going to let you finish your order, but we may not let you get all the extras at that point. We may say, well, the plushes are done. So you have until November 24th where you get full access to all the Flamecraft stuff. Will the whole order get shipped together, or will the book come separately? We are going to ship everything together with the exception of Mission Catastrophe. If you get Mission Catastrophe, that is coming earlier because it is on a different boat. But everything else, the book, the pins, the bookmarks, the blush, everything is coming in the same box. It may have been asked already, but if you are ordering 2 copies of the game, would that mean that you get free shipping on 2 plushes? Now, that's a good thing to note. It's only the first plush free for each of the types of plush, meaning that if you get 2 games and you get 4 drag plush, you're getting the first bread dragon plush with free shipping. You're getting the first meat dragon plush with free shipping, but you're not getting free shipping extended per game. That's for bookmarks and other things. Every game is coming with the free items, but for plush, it is the first bread dragon free plush, free shipping, and the first meat dragon free shipping. After that, the plush will start to add to the total by an amount that we definitely have to charge for, because I don't think they stack. I mean, we'll have to find out when Brad orders his 100 plush, how much his shipping charge is for that. I think it's pretty reasonable per plush, actually. Okay. Do we have, let's see what else we have from our past questions. I have another one about PayPal. Why PayPal? I want to talk about PayPal for a second, just so everyone knows. There are a lot of people who said they didn't have credit cards and they wanted to pay with PayPal, which is why we turned it on for this campaign. It is usually not turned on for backer kit projects. And the reason why is it does add some more headaches, but it allows you to pay right now. So for anyone who just wants to get done, it is an option. It's problematic if you pay for extra stuff and you check out and then you realize, oh crap, I didn't mean to get that because it's been charged. So if you want to go the slower, safer route and just be able to adjust, you can adjust all the way to November 24th and charge the other way, which is that we'll charge cards on the last day. But we're glad to offer it for everyone who wanted either a fast checkout or doesn't have access to a credit card in their country, which is frankly, we wanted to make sure everyone could get in. And so I'm glad we could do that. So if you don't like being surprised by a charge on November 24th, by all means, choose that option. If you want flexibility and you can afford to wait, or you want to wait, some people actually specifically don't want to buy yet because they just want to know the date we're going to charge so they can save up money. And so it's 2 different types of ways of going about a pledge manager. Someone is shouting my name out, but I will tell you that StreamYard is mean and it doesn't tell me who you are. Because if you have not signed up for StreamYard and you're chiming in from Facebook, it just says you're a Facebook user. But we appreciate you, Facebook user. And I will talk to you later if it's someone I know shouting my name out. Let's see. People are clarifying in the comments for the person asking about the deluxe and whether or not it includes a fancy. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in on comments like this. Thank you, everybody who's on our Discord, who's answering questions. Thank you, everybody who's on our Kickstarter wall and answering questions. We have almost 30,000 people asking questions, which means that there's a lot to answer, and sometimes it's the same question. So we appreciate everyone jumping in and helping us out. No one's asked this question, so I'm just going to answer it. When does the late pledge store open? For anybody who's has missed it. If you have a friend and they have not gotten Flamecraft, you need to tell them about Flamecraft. I mean, you have to tell them. This is the one of the most backed Kickstarters on this year for a reason, because it's awesome and you cannot let them miss out, right? The deluxe will not be around forever. The cool offers we're doing will not be around forever. So the late pledges will open tomorrow. I'm going to put out a link. I'm going to post it in our Discord. We're going to post it in our, everywhere we're on social media. If you missed Flamecraft, you can still get in while we are still figuring out the order. We're going to let people come in because we've got a lot of people like, oh my God, I just missed it by 5 minutes, please. And yes, we're going to let you come in. So if you have friends don't let friends not get bread dragons. I don't know, something. Brad mentions another key thing, which is that if you have questions later, because these streams are going to be only at certain times for now, you can always check the FAQ. We are going to keep a FAQ on the backer kit has a FAQ. The Discord channel named after the pledge manager, so Flamecraft pledge manager, has a FAQ. We're going to update that. You can also, of course, find us in any of those forums and ask as well, or ask another backer. We've got a lot of helpful people. Such as our Discard squad hype. Thank you very much. Stay hydrated and check your posture. Thank you. I will. I've got a bad back sometimes. So let's see. So do we need to start going door to door and info the masses about Flamecraft? Absolutely. That's what you got to do. The other thing that's going to happen is we're going to print these poker cards that actually have the late pledge link on it. And I'm going to print up some of those when we go to a con. We'll have that the fall cons anyway. If someone asked me about going to a con and then their local con and doing that, if you've got a con and would like to get some of those cards, don't inundate me. If you're going to a con and you legitimately can pass out a lot of those cards, you can email me, and if I have enough, I could do that. But yes, go door to door if you have to, because we want everyone to get this game. Let's see. Do we have anything else? We're going to wrap this one up. Now we are going to do 2 more of these broadcasts for anybody who thinks of another question. You can post it in our Discord. You can, and then we'll jot down any things that are being missed. I think the biggest thing that's going to be missed right now is probably, let's talk about the hot things that came up on this one. First of all, there's going to be the missing pin and other items in people's pledge when they upgrade. When you switch tiers, that stuff's going to drop. You don't have to do anything. That'll automatically get added. I think the fancy dragon is going to be a little confusing because some people may have assumed it's in the box. We've covered that. It's not in the box. You want to add the fancy dragon or win it. If you've won it, then you're done. If you haven't, you can add the fancy dragon. Someone's saying, how many coins do I need for it to be considered a pile I can sit on? I do not know the answer to that. We did award a hoard of coins, 500 coins, but I don't think that's even they are still game coins. So I think you need more. I'm not sure what that number is, but if you go for it, do send pictures. We'd like to see this hoard of coins you're sitting on. However, I will say for pictures, the fancy dragons, the regular, all the dragons sitting at about 35 millimeters, those will be awesome sitting on a pile of coins. So if you take a picture of your dragons sitting on their coins, that'll be a fun picture. Such a source says it's going to be a weird thing this game on store shelves and getting to act all snobby like, oh yes, I was an original backer. Don't you know? We hope that by opening the deluxe up just for that first limited order that we'll see the deluxe go to a couple stores. But yes, it'll be pretty cool to see it when it comes out. Of course, the backers will get it first. After that, the stores will try and sell it for cheap. I know this will happen, but we've included all those extras to make sure that you're the only ones that can get art prints and promos and stuff like that. So I think that's about it. We're going to call this one good. It was a very interactive set of questions that everybody had. And I, once again, want to say from Brad and I, also from Manny and Sandara, thank you for being so excited about this project. So being so awesome in the comments. Flamecraft has an amazing community, and we are excited to make this game. And the pledge manager is the first step. I mean, we have to find out how many we're making, then we're going to get to the business of making these things. Thanks a lot for the love. Thank you, Ellie. That's awesome. I just love hearing from everybody. So please ask questions. Come into our Discord if you want to play Mission Catastrophe or play games with us on different nights. And we'll see you around. We'll see you on Kickstarter, on Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Be sure to say hi and cheers. All right. Take it easy, everybody.